Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Ben Armstrong, who runs a very popular cryptocurrency YouTube channel, BitBoy Crypto, with close to 1.5 million subscribers at this point, has stated the following. This is a quote: "Your anger is misplaced via a conspiracy theory without proof," end quote. And what's he talking about there? He's talking about ETHgate, this idea that Ethereum got some sort of free pass from the SEC. This is just a conspiracy theory, and that anger is misplaced surrounding this. And just a conspiracy theory, no actual proof. A few things right off the top here. I'm going to share with you all of BitBoy Crypto's thoughts on this, because he put out a really long and I'd say thoughtful thread on this, and thoughtful minds can disagree. That's perfectly fine. I actually agreed with him on a number of points that he made. I disagreed on others, and I love diversity of thought, so this is not, obviously, it better be obvious anyway, this is not an attack on him. I appreciate that he's publicly sharing his opinion, and I'm going to do the same here, and it's okay if you listening disagree with me, or if I ever spoke with him. If he disagreed with me, that's fine. I want to get all the ideas out there, because that's what helps us get closer to the truth, sharing ideas and facts that we know, because no one individual can know everything. But the idea of this being a conspiracy, I'm going to push back against here, because if you just look at the facts surrounding what's going on, like, those are undeniable. Where it starts to get into, I think when people start to frame it as a conspiracy theory, it's more so when you're delving into like the hearts and minds of the individual participants behind this. You can talk about Jay Clayton or William Hinman. We don't for sure know what was going through their minds, but if you just look at the facts surrounding this, there's nothing controversial about this. Like, we're just stating facts, and so that's why I flatly state that there is no conspiracy theory. But I think that if you have a different definition of conspiracy theory, or if you're talking about different things, you can talk past one another. But if we're purely looking at the facts, there's no conspiracy. Now, if you're talking about people delving into the hearts and minds surrounding this topic, okay, you could in theory get a little bit close to the definition of conspiracy theory, but that's not what I'm talking about, and I don't think that's what most people are talking about here. Now, before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say are right. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And by the way, just to be clear, there is serious merit to this. And here's an article from NASDAQ, one of the biggest exchanges on the entire planet. And here's the headline. This is from January this year. ETHgate 2022. The Ethereum scandal XRP investors are calling bigger than Enron. Well, maybe one or two XRP investors are calling bigger than Enron. I haven't seen that bandied about a whole lot other than this article, to be honest with you here. But what is ETHgate? Here's how they wrote it up. ETHgate is a conspiracy theory that Ethereum received a free pass from regulators. These critics reasonably claim that the Securities and Exchange Commission allowed Ethereum to move ahead while doling out harsher treatment to XRP and other rivals. Folks, that is not a conspiracy. Hell, look at Bill Hinman's pass. Because again, he was a regulator, right? He was running the Division of Corporation Finance. He gave a pass to Ethereum June 14th, 2018. That's not a conspiracy. He outright said it. And it's also not a conspiracy to note that SEC did sue Ripple, claiming that XRP is an unregistered security. There's no conspiracy there. These are facts. And if you look at all the facts that John Deaton has laid out in rather methodical order, which I've highlighted on the channel, I'm not going to do in this video, it's very clear. Like, if you just look at the facts, that's what we're talking about here. I'm not talking necessarily, it's okay to speculate like what's in the hearts and minds of these people, given how, let's be real, there's some very obvious appearances of impropriety. It's okay to speculate, but that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about like the facts and specifics here. Now, here's Ben Armstrong's thread, and he wrote the following. The XRP Army has been asking me to make some statements on ETHgate, so here is a thread. Some of it you may agree, some you may not, but these are my thoughts. If you need to catch up on the scandal/conspiracy theory, here is a link, and then he links to the NASDAQ article. Nothing about these allegations have been proven. It's a conspiracy theory that a small pool of early Ethereum insiders paid off SEC officials to look the other way. The ICO was more centralized than it appeared due to an intentionally confusing web of wallet addresses. it depends on what you mean by proven. Like, what specifically you're talking about. What has or has not been proven? It's been proven that Bill Hinman did receive $15 million to put forth market guidance that benefited the entity his former employer, which paid him. Like, that's a fact. And so there's a serious appearance of impropriety. That's not a conspiracy theory. So, was he paid purely to do that? I don't know. I'm not. See, this is why I'm saying if you're asserting that the answer is yes, then yeah, fine. In theory, you can say it's a little bit closer to conspiracy theory. I'm just saying that there are obvious appearances of impropriety, and the facts that I just stated are not in dispute by anyone. The facts are very clear. And so, given that there's such a long train of facts here, I don't think it's reasonable to state that this is a conspiracy theory. That's just my humble opinion. Ben Armstrong continues. According to the theory, only a few people actually invested in Ethereum, and the foundation manipulated the public to believe that individuals were buying the ICO. But actually, founders of Ethereum, Vitalik, Charles, Gavin, Joseph, and others controlled supply. So let me just pause to note here, there may be individuals that do think that is the case. I haven't really seen, prior to this comment, I personally have not seen those assertions. So I'm not saying those assertions don't exist. I personally had not seen them. But we know that Joseph Lubin, and this is provably true, there's audio of him. I've talked about it on my channel multiple times. There's audio of Joseph Lubin, Ethereum co-founder, stating that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but if you want to be an Ethereum whale, if you want to purchase a ton of ETH during the ICO here, then you just break it up into smaller purchases to disguise who you actually are. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's provable fact. So as far as what who actually purchased the ICO, all of that, I don't know if there is evidence of that. I'm not getting into that. I'm talking about the specific facts. That's part of what is known as ETHgate. That's undeniable fact. That's not conspiracy. So on that point, I would also respectfully disagree. But BitBoy Crypto continues, and he says, I know people who invested in the ICO. A lot of people, like in real life. So the question is, if I know people who bought it, where was the cover-up? The sale was very public. So, at a minimum, the public had a fair shot to buy Ethereum ICO and participate in governance, network, etc. So I'll just pause to note here. I don't know. I'm not making an assertion that it's only whales or almost 100% whales or a strong majority of whales that purchased the ICO and it split up a bunch of smaller purchases. I'm not making that assertion. I'm flatly stating I don't know. I don't have that data. Ben Armstrong, though, I would say this. I believe what he's saying here. I have no reason not to believe what he's saying here, so it's perfectly fine for him to point this out. But even if he knows individuals, if the ICO is sufficiently large, those would just be anecdotal incidents and not necessarily representative of the state of who actually participated in the ICO and actually purchased Ethereum to start with. And then BitBoy Crypto continues. I just scrolled down and I lost my spot. I accidentally scrolled when I didn't need to. One sec here. Okay, it's right here. While I certainly love a good conspiracy, applying Occam's razor to this should leave you with the opinion that most likely the most obvious outcome is the answer. William Hinman gave Bitcoin and Ethereum a pass as not securities, which provides XRP with a roadmap to win the SEC case. So I'll pause to note here, I agree with that. The idea that Bill Hinman gave this pass, which just provided, frankly, was supposed to provide market guidance, if anything, given that Ripple ultimately got sued, all it did was add market confusion if what Bill Hinman said wasn't supposed to be market guidance. So, regardless, when it comes to Ripple's fair notice events, these are highly consequential facts. So, Ben Armstrong is hitting the nail on the head with that point. It absolutely does, I think, or at least it can, it could potentially be a huge factor in the SEC versus Ripple case. Anyway, Ben continues.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.